Picture the arrivals hall at midnight. Fluorescent lights, rolling suitcases, phones buzzing with time zone confusion. You hold each other and still feel the clock ticking. This is handling visa stress in relationships, and it's a storm that can soak you even on a clear day. Paperwork, wait times, and interviews can make romance feel like a project plan. The forms don't see the way you look at each other in the kitchen light. They don't hear the jokes you send across oceans to keep hope alive. But you do, and that matters. Welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we turn difficult seasons into opportunities for closeness. Tonight we're walking the long hallway between not yet and we're finally home. We'll talk about the quiet choices that protect love when bureaucracy is loud. We'll anchor worry to rituals that make the days gentler. The first thing to name is the weight of uncertainty. The immigration process for couples asks for patience that rarely fits inside a normal life. There are calendars to mark and days that refuse to move. Research shows uncertainty drains energy, especially when you have no control over the timeline. Here's the part that surprises most couples. The waiting isn't just about time. It's about identity, safety, and the ache of not knowing where you'll fall asleep next month. Have you noticed how your arguments often start when you check your email or open a new form? But there's something even quieter holding love together. It's the small, repeatable habits that tell your bodies we're on the same team. When flight schedules and case updates feel like a tide, your rituals are the shoreline. They keep you from being pulled out too far. Imagine a summer evening on a porch, fans on low, fireflies starting their soft work in the backyard. You agree on a daily check-in that takes 10 minutes, and no more. One person shares what made the day heavy, the other shares what kept hope alive, and you both end with a small plan for tomorrow. Therapists report that short, consistent check-ins help keep long-distance immigration tips practical instead of overwhelming. The conversation is focused and kind. You don't fix everything. You keep the door to closeness open. Could you try a 10-minute check-in this week? When you can't control the timeline, you can control the rhythm. Pick 2 anchors you'll hold no matter what. Maybe Friday movie night over a video call, and Sunday afternoon walks while you talk with earbuds in. These moments keep the heart oxygenated. What anchors already exist that you could protect more fiercely? But there's a question waiting between the first and second thing you need most. What if the stress isn't just from the system, but from the story you're telling yourselves about the system? If the story is, we're powerless, you'll feel small. If the story is, we can plan inside uncertainty, you'll feel strong enough to last. Try naming tasks as lanes, so one person doesn't carry all the logistics. One of you tracks document checklists. The other manages deadlines and appointment prep. You both choose a shared folder and a simple naming convention, so nothing gets lost. Visa application support for couples starts with clarity that saves your future selves time. There will be days when an email arrives and your stomach drops. That's normal. You can build a rapid response for those days. Text a code word, take 5 breaths, and meet on a call within the hour if possible. Have you created a plan for bad news days so you don't improvise with hurt feelings? Sometimes the distance sharpens misunderstandings. One person feels ignored when the other goes quiet after a long day. The quiet person thinks they are protecting their partner from worry. Both feel alone. This is where a tiny script helps. I'm not pulling away. I'm overwhelmed. I'll text you at 9 p.m. my time. Public spaces can make it harder. Airports, offices, even coffee shops with spotty Wi-Fi, remind you that your love moves through checkpoints. When anxiety spikes, use sensory grounding. Notice the smell of roasted beans, the cool metal of the chair, the hum of the espresso machine. Ask your partner, what can you feel around you right now? But there's something else that changes the game. Bring your relationship into the plan, not just the paperwork. Create a timeline with flexible layers, the hoped-for date, the realistic date, and the if-not-yet plan. Put it on a calendar you can both see. Does seeing the options soften the edges of the weight? You can also design tiny wins to offset big unknowns. Book a local day trip you can cancel. Order takeout from a cuisine that reminds you of the other's city. Schedule a video date where you cook the same recipe. These simple rituals feed connection when milestones feel far away. Research shows that naming emotions reduces their intensity. Try labeling your day with a weather forecast. Today felt like steady rain, but not a storm. Or, today was bright with wind. I got things done, but I'm tired. Then ask, what would help if the weather is still like this tomorrow? For couples who are apart, time zones can steal your patience. Decide on a golden window, a daily or almost daily slice when you're both alert enough to care. Don't use it to solve problems unless you planned to. Use it to be people in love. What would your golden window be? But there's a deeper question under all the planning. How do you stay a couple when one of you is doing life in another language or system? You make meaning out of the weight. You say out loud, this season is hard, and we're doing it because we want the same life. You celebrate effort, not just outcomes. Picture a crisp winter morning. The heat clicks on. Your breath fogs the window as you watch the street wake up. You send a voice note that starts with the sound of the kettle and ends with, I'm proud of us today. Little things like this are not filler. They're the fuel. There will be moments when bureaucracy pushes you into an argument you didn't mean to have. Maybe you missed a submission date, or a file didn't upload. Your partner is hurt. You feel blamed. In these moments, slow the movie down. Model a healthy repair. I'm sorry I missed the deadline. I felt embarrassed and didn't want to tell you. You deserved an update. I've set an alert and shared it with you, and I'll reach out to the office tomorrow. Then ask, is there anything you need to feel steadier right now? What does repair look like in your relationship? Midway through, hear this from the heart of whispered hearts. English. You are not failing if you feel shaky. You are not weak because the weight makes you cry in the dairy aisle or on a sidewalk at dusk. This is a community that believes love is allowed to be human while forms are being processed. Another place couples stumble is in comparing timelines with friends online. Comparison steals context. You don't know the invisible variables in someone else's story. Protect your mental health by curating what you consume during this season. Could you unfollow a few accounts for now and reclaim your peace? But there's something more practical that keeps you steady. Create if this, then that plans for big moments. If an interview is scheduled, you both know who will handle travel bookings and who will prepare documents. If a delay appears, you both know how you'll communicate and how you'll treat that weekend. Plans reduce panic. Long-distance immigration tips often forget the body. Stress lodges in muscle and breath. Pick a short routine you can do together on video. 3 stretches, 10 deep breaths, a 2-minute scan from head to toe where you name tension and let it drop. Would your body forgive you for making this a habit? Also, give your future life a place to live right now. Make a shared list called Day 1 Things. It might be silly or sweet: your first grocery run, the coffee shop you'll try, the park where you'll sit. It might be practical: opening a joint account, picking a health provider, choosing a neighborhood. Building a future map turns waiting into movement. When approval finally arrives, relief can carry its own shock. Re-entry into the same city brings joy and a fresh set of logistics. You'll be rearranging drawers, learning commute routes, and finding new routines. Expect a second wave of emotions after the first celebration, and be kind to each other when it lands. If a denial appears, grief is not a failure. It means you cared deeply. Sit side by side, feet on the same floor, and let the silence breathe for a minute. Then decide on a first step, not a full plan. Maybe you schedule a consultation, gather feedback, or choose a temporary home base. What would a compassionate first step be for you? But there's a brighter thread through all outcomes. You've built muscles other couples never had to. Clear communication under pressure, flexibility with time, creative romance that moves across borders. These are strengths you get to keep. Make space for celebration you can touch. When you are together, buy a small item that symbolizes this journey: a map print, a candle with a scent from one city, a key ring with both initials. When you are apart, mail each other something simple and useful. Everyday objects become talismans of us. On an autumn afternoon, picture walking under red and gold trees with takeout cups warming your hands. You talk about your first month in the new rhythm. You notice what's working instead of auditing each misstep. You say, "I like how we check in before we look at emails." This is how you teach your nervous systems the new normal. Boundaries are kindness too. Agree on when immigration talk is welcome and when it rests. Maybe you pause paperwork at dinner. Maybe you keep Saturdays for fun, even if fun is a slow grocery run and a shared playlist. Put the boundary on a sticky note and treat it like a promise. When you can't be together, dream in details. Plan a cooking night with the same ingredients. Choose the same movie and press play on 3. Read a short poem out loud and send voice notes back. People underestimate how much intimacy lives in simple, synchronized time. But there's one more secret that moves you forward. Gratitude is not a denial of pain. It's a way to widen your field of view. Start or end your check-in with one sentence of thanks. Thank each other for patience, laughter, or one brave email. What gratitude would you offer tonight? If family and friends are involved, teach them how to help. Send a short message. We're in a waiting phase. What helps most is small check-ins and funny photos. Please avoid asking for updates unless we bring it up. Protect your peace with clear guardrails, and let people love you inside them. There will be days you feel behind. On those days, return to what you control. Hydrate, move your body, message your partner, and do one tiny task that makes tomorrow easier. That is not settling. That is choosing your life as it exists right now. As we come close to the end, picture a spring rain tapping your windows. You stand by the sink, listening to the soft percussion on the glass. You say to the quiet room, "We're okay." You send a text that says, "Same team, even on grey days." The room feels warmer because you meant it. When the big news comes, yes or no, you'll have a practice for meeting it. You'll breathe, check in, and remember the story you built to hold the weight. You'll celebrate or grieve with the care you promised each other on the porch, in the kitchen, and across the calls. If you needed to hear this, let it land now. You are not alone in this long hallway. Whispered Hearts. English is where your experience makes sense, and your hope is welcome. We are proud of the way you love in a complicated world. We'll leave you with a question that can help someone else watching tonight. What's one thing that helped you during a visa wait? Your ideas might be the anchor another couple needs at 2 a.m. in a quiet apartment with a blinking router light. Wherever you are, airport gate, studio apartment, family kitchen, or a quiet porch, your love is learning endurance and tenderness at the same time. You're shaping a home that can hold both, and you're doing better than you think. When the lights are low and the inbox is quiet, hold the truth that steadies everything. Paperwork can be stressful, but your relationship doesn't have to be. Keep choosing the rituals that protect you both. That is how you keep handling visa stress in relationships with courage and care.